Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to our social club sessions. Today, we're starting our new meetings on Black Mirror discussion sessions, or Black sessions, as we name it before. So today, we are going to. First of all, we were expecting a little bit more. Couple of other students, they made a mistake. They watched a different episode, but we are discussing. Sorry, season one, episode one, the national anthem, the one with the prime minister and the pig. So, first of all, this is like think about this. Do you know how old Black Mirror is? Anybody here who has been following the show from the beginning? No?
No, I saw the first
Yeah, episode.
but the only episode because I think that is more heavy,
Yeah.
and then I
You thought,
stopped to see
yeah.
see it.
That was enough. Like, oh God, okay, this was enough. So yeah,
Yes,
this is.
but
Huh?
Hernan tell me today that is the only episode for heavy.
Yeah,
The other no, not
are
only.
not heavy. Yeah, actually they are. Each episode is an individual story, so they're not connected. You'll have something here and something completely different next episode. This next episode is
We won't
actually
be
totally different.
seeing this prime minister doing more stuff, so don't
So
worry about that.
this is the only chance we got to discuss this. I think this is my favorite episode. So I think it's a great chance for us to discuss, and there are lots of interesting things to discuss about this. So let me start by giving you a short, quick summary of the show, so you can have some ideas. Some of you, the show started in when it started in 2011, but no one saw it until I think it was like when it got to Netflix. So the national anthem was a very controversial episode. This is a British show, so they're showing the British Prime Minister in the middle of this having sexual intercourse with a pig. So it was very controversial, and the show immediately got popular there, but it took longer to get here. I think I have a similar La Casa. I don't know about La Casa de Papel. I have never seen the show. I think it's very. I think I've heard it's very good. I just don't like the accent, Spanish accent. I don't know. So yeah, this episode was controversial, and the show got popular immediately. Not here. I got to know Black Mirror in 2012, and this show has been on and off regularly, steadily since 2011. So this episode, the national anthem, we have one day the prime minister is sleeping at his house. He gets a phone call in the middle of, like, it's early morning, and they tell him that Princess Sophie, I think it is, Princess
Susana.
Susanna, Princess Susanna, who is very popular and very charismatic, has been kidnapped, and the kidnappers, terrorist kidnappers, are asking for a ransom. The president is showing a video with a message from the princess asking him for help, saying that he's the only one who can help her, otherwise she'll die. And that's when these people who work in the government, these very dark characters they're showing us, um, tell him that in order to get the princess, or to pay for the ransom of the princess, he needs to have sex with a pig live on TV. And immediately he rejects this. So, first of all, the video was on the web for about 8 minutes, 5 minutes, no more than that. Just I think it was like 3 minutes. It was 9 minutes.
No,
No,
the video. What video?
the video of
O sea, who video?
the video of Sophie asking for the ransom. The
Ah,
princess Susan
yes.
asking for the ransom. I think it was just a couple of minutes
Mm-hmm.
on air before it was put down by the authorities, but it was downloaded and shared all over the world, so it was too late. Everybody knew about this. So the first topic I would like to discuss is YouTube. The video was uploaded in YouTube, So I would like to start with you, Kathy. What do you think of the fact that this video was uploaded and only in like less than 10 minutes it was spread all over the world, and everybody in England knew about that despite the fact that the government had put it down? What do you think of the speed, or how information can easily fly in our present time?
Um, I think that this can be about the globalization, maybe, that all of us use the cell phone, or all the people have an internet, and it's more easier to see about the news or the things very popular, for example, or you can see in Twitter, or another friends tell about the, I don't know, a thing very popular, for example, the, no sé, pues, can be princess
Yeah.
kidnap.
Kidnapped? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
do
I
you think
think,
it would be like that if it happens if this would really happen? Do you think it could spread that fast?
yes, obviously, yes. Because it's a bad news. The bad news, I sentence about this. The bad news can be fly very fast, algo así.
Travel fast.
Yes,
Bad news travel fast. So yeah,
exactly.
and it's not only about, I think it's not only about the speed, but also how easily is to share information. How these people, I mean, if I see a message like this, I should call the police and tell authorities.
Mhm.
But what the first things we do is share, record, and share on our social media before taking any action. So Hernan, I would like to talk to you about that. Of the many thousands of people who watched the video, and instead of trying to figure out who was responsible, who was the kidnapper, they only start speculating about it, if the president will do it or not, and was like spreading the rumor. So what do you think about that, Hernan?
I understand the question, but I'm not sure what are you really asking about it.
No, I'm asking just your quick overview of what do you think of people not being interested in solving the problem or getting help to overcome the situation, but instead immediately sharing the message. Like the few people who actually saw the video on YouTube, instead of calling authorities and asking for help right away, or trying organizing to find the kidnappers, whatever, if the interest was put in the princess, why do you think that people immediately start sharing and start gossiping about it?
Or
I
take
don't know how to
picture.
say. I'm sorry. What?
No, for example, when you see an accident, all the people take pictures
Yeah,
and don't
Instead of
call.
helping.
yeah.
Yes.
Uh, well, I don't know how to say morbo in English, but I think that's the main reason. So
Morbo in English. Don't remember. Like
tough one.
you can say morbid, but it's not the same idea.
No, it's not. It's not the
Yeah.
same.
Morbid.
Morbid is
No,
like
morbid
illness,
is
or
yeah, it's
Mm.
like in like yeah, like a morbid of obesity, or
where they,
morbid is something like twisted.
well, they are
Uh,
seeking away, but
I think
morbo is,
we can say fascination, maybe something like that, but it's not the same because fascination can be positive.
yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a negative fascination.
I I think there is a, sadly, there is a natural trend of people about those kind of situations. When they saw something really repulsive or strange or even gross, or maybe something that could be harmful to, people used to uh, watch it, kind of enjoy it, but no one really admit it. Um, Instead of helping, instead of worrying about people. So yeah, I think that's that's one of the reasons because I like Black Mirror so much, because every episode talks about a situation that could really happen, you know.
Yeah.
In this specific case, in the national anthem episode, this is a thing that could happen today, you know. In other
Anytime, any moment.
episodes, yeah, in other episodes, it could happen if the technology improves in that way 10 years or
Yeah.
30 years or a couple of centuries. I don't know. But yeah, it really makes you think. Uh, what? How can society could react to that kind of
Yeah. What would people
situation?
do? I mean,
And I think
yeah,
people would do that, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's the thing.
Sadly,
That's the thing.
and I was a little bit surprised when you said recently that you would prefer to record it before calling,
I mean,
for
not
example.
not 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 that I would prefer. Most people.
Ah, okay. So I
No, no, no.
missed
I
all
would
the.
never. I would never. I don't think about recording things when they happen immediately. I most of the time when I see something shocking, afterwards I say, oh, I should have recorded. But yeah,
But
normally it's like
why do you need to record that? I
there,
don't
there is
understand.
no need. There is no
I
need.
really don't understand that.
Me neither. Me neither. And that's why I don't. I tend not to do it. My mind does not think about that. But then when someone asks me why didn't you record it, and I was like, oh yeah, I should have. But my brain doesn't tell me to do it because it's unnecessary. Unless of course you're watching an alien or something like that that is worth recording. So yeah, going to your point, I think that if this would happen now, at this moment, in real life, if tomorrow President Piñera gets a warning that they're going to kill, I don't know, who could it be? Is there anybody loved in this country?
We could say.
Felipe
But
Camiroaga is dead. Let's say Felipe Camiroaga is
No.
alive,
let's
and
say Alexis Sanchez
yeah, that could be. That's very popular. So yeah, if they say
Yeah.
and
Alexis
Claudio
Sanchez,
Bravo because it's
yeah,
more formal.
Alexis
Yeah.
Sanchez is he did something with Vale Roth, so he deserves it a little bit. But not Bravo. Bravo is a good boy. So yeah, or Gary Medel, someone like that, very popular. And that person is in trouble. And I don't think that anyone would care about Piñera in this case. It won't be like prime minister. But I think the same thing would happen. Instead of trying to get help to get to recover, to get Bravo back, we should be start speculating about if whether or not Piñera will have sex with the pig. So Javier, our new guy here, I would like to ask you. Speaking of the same idea, what do you think of the fact that after this video was shared, spread on the web, the government immediately deleted less than 10 minutes? They put it down. So they manage and they control information because it won't beneficiate them. And we are constantly talking about that, how governments manage and hide information from the public just to keep control over people. So what do you think about that? Do you think that is likely, unlikely, this is a fact? Do you think that the government would do it now in Chile, for example, if this happened here?
What I consider is the natural reaction of the different government for try to avoid the spread about the different bad news or well or maybe the different activities who or that have a problem with another people and but in general maybe I think it's natural reaction for try to hide this kind of behavior
Sorry,
but
just a question. So meaning that is natural means that you're okay with it, or that is something that just happens, or that you can understand why it happens. Just to make sure that we all can
no
think about it.
for me was well when the government discovered the situation they tried hide hide
Yeah, like
the situation
cover.
yeah and but I understand that the reason is they tried resolve maybe with another tools this situation. I don't know why, but maybe I think they have a specific people for resolve this kind of problems.
Yeah,
And
intelligence.
yeah, intelligence maybe. And but I think it's a common situation. But I don't know in general. Wow, it's
Uh,
complex.
Yeah, it's a very very complicated issue because I don't know. In my opinion, I think is that the people don't need to know this. Like it makes no difference. Nobody helped the case. Instead of helping, they just made it bigger. So the terrorists knew that the people would do exactly what they did, make it bigger, so they are more powerful and their threat is more real for everyone. So, but it makes sense that the government would hide something like that. I don't. I For me, Jorge Patricio, what do you think? Do you think it's okay or that it would be the right option of a government to cover these kind of matters,
Cover this kind of what?
these
Sorry?
kind of problems, this kind of like situation like this? Do you think it would be okay or that is the first thing to do for the government to cover up these matters?
Well, hi to everyone. Um, I saw this episode twice.
Yeah.
I will like to start saying that maybe this is the most shocking episode of any kind of series ever.
Yeah.
And asking answer to your question. No, I think that the government, in this case in particular, or whatever, the situation totally overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
The power of the government, of the police, of the state, of the internet police, and well, we know that a president, or in this case a prime minister, have a lot of um, assessores,
Yeah.
yeah,
Assistance.
assistants, sorry, and they have a deadline of maybe a couple of hours to think how to solve the problem. They all fail, and this is a solid proof, I think, of how terrorism
Terrorist or
works.
terrorism.
Maybe we know that one of the principal fights that every government have is against terrorism organizations.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think that we can see two kind of terrorism. Maybe in one part we have the global organizations like Al Qaeda or that kind of uh, they are they are a big obstacle
Yes.
to the governments. But in this case, I see one guy doing a very perfect operation. They maybe are a hacker and they do the work perfect as hell. And in this case, in particular, all the defensive systems of the government fail.
Yeah.
And maybe one key moment of this chapter is when the bald guy, I don't remember his name, tried to make a sheet, a fake video with a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
porn.
But don't go there. We're going there. Don't go there.
No, sorry,
Not
sorry,
yet. Not yet. So yeah,
sorry.
the thing is that yeah, they all failed. Like everything we know, that's what Black Mirror is showing us. The show that technology, we may think that we have that we manage it, that we control it, but we don't control it. So technology can take turns and act against us because technically the terrorist is very successful. He terrorized the entire world, not only the UK. After all, it's in Al Jazeera, CNN, ABC, TVN, Red Maule, all like every single channel on the world is. It would be like that. I mean, I cannot even think about it otherwise. But all the media going all crazy about this, and it's funny because at some stage they even interview a friend of a friend of a friend who was on the party where the princess was the day before. and they're showing you like a TV show, a news show, and they're interviewing this nonsense like witness of the nothing, and they are trying to fill in with information about the princess, about the terrorists, instead of working for a solution. So it's like multiple, like you said. So taking that idea that you said, um the government, after putting this down, despite being massified and everything, um everybody in the world, like everybody else stopped doing whatever they were doing to watch the news. And they were not watching information about what happened, any advances in the cases. They were watching entertainment. It immediately became entertaining for people to know the ups and downs of this kidnap. So after that, the government comes up with a very smart solution, which is the other issue I would like to go in. They come up with the fake video. They will do a great green screen trick where they would take off the face of the actor, a porn actor, and put the face. It's funny because it had to be a porn actor. Couldn't it be like anybody? But anyway, they choose this actor and they want to put the face of the prime minister, but they are discovered because of the media, because someone takes a photo and right away uploads it and it spreads all over the world, and the terrorists are informed that they're trying to fake this. So faking videos is completely normal for the government. It's not like they're doing something new here. They're showing you that they're used to do this. So Kathy, what do you think of government creating and falsificating information, or in information that we don't even know if this has been done in real life? Because we know that it's completely possible to fake
Yes,
videos like this.
yes, I think that it's not the role principal of the government, but for one part, obviously, they can protect him, the minister.
Yeah.
And for this reason, they try to a fake video or another options. And for example, in Chile or in another country, for example, the COVID, the numbers
Yeah.
for ¿cómo se dice?
Cover?
No, tranquilizar,
To
quiet,
calm down. Oh, yeah, quiet down and calm down.
for quiet down the persons that live in this country, try to change the numbers. For example,
Yeah.
it's a false information,
Yeah,
but
fake information.
it's a fake information, but they think about the person.
Yeah. So in this case, I think you're if I get you correctly, I think you're trying to say that you are okay with situations
No,
like this, but when it's for the better, like the higher benefit for everyone.
no. I think that the government tried to do something, or como, I don't know. The government tried to do something, uh, anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that they don't choose the correct things for controller the people, or como the good things that maybe they can.
Yeah, maybe for with a good purpose. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that I think it's okay that a government would try to help the president and avoid him having sex with a pig. It's natural, but at the same way, we can think about, have there been other times in which they've done the same and not always for the best purposes? So, Hernan, what do you think about this topic? Do you think this could or is currently usual accepted practice in authorities? Microphone.
Yeah, I know it was a little loudy. Could you
Ah,
repeat
yeah, yeah,
the last
yeah,
part?
yeah. Sure,
What
sure,
what
sure.
kind of determination made by the authorities could be controversial. Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
hear
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, don't worry, don't worry. We're talking that the authorities try to fake the video, and Kathy was saying that it makes sense because they're trying to help the president and trying to avoid chaos. She put the example of COVID when they fake numbers or cover numbers just to control the situation. So it makes sense in situations like this, but we would need to trust in the authorities' uh, intentions, that they only do it with good intentions. So, two questions. One, do you think that this could be common or that it is common nowadays, a common practice with authorities? And secondly, do you think that it's okay to do it in some cases and that we can rely on their criteria to decide when is necessary to do it and when it's necessary to tell the truth?
Um, it may be a philosophical discussion, but
Yeah, that's the idea here.
uh,
Remember, we always get it into like. Let me
yeah,
just tell the
you're
others.
getting really deep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea. We always try to go deep.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Javier,
Yeah.
in the previous
Let's
in
do
the
it.
previous sessions, we did it like this. We started talking about future, and then we finished talking about love and philosophy and existence. So this is how it
And
works.
so on.
So and so on. Yeah. So the new people can
Yeah.
can get used to this. So what do you think?
Well, according to the first question, I think that it's valid in a partial way. I think. Yeah. I think it could be useful when you need to decide some important situations that are really delicate and you don't need to panic the whole population. You just need to solve some situations. Uh, I mean, for instance, if you are in the middle of I don't know, a nuclear crisis, it's not the best idea to alarm the population with every step that is really happening, to be strategic, to help also the general welfare and yeah, I think those are delicate situations, but they could be better in a way because sadly I would well I trust in humanity, but I don't trust in people in some situations because I think societies from time to time decide things um, very impulsively, you know. So I don't think if some situations are always being published, people would react in the better way. I totally disagree if they are changing the numbers of the prevalences in talking about the COVID-19 in
Yeah.
some countries. I think that's awful. That's horrible. But I think if you are in the middle of a war or something like that, there are some situations that could be more harmful than than useful to publish.
So yeah,
So yeah,
situations like
I
terrorism.
think there are some situations that it's better not to be published or it's better just to cut off from the social media stuff. But just only particular situations. So yeah,
So
I,
in that the
I'm
case,
in part agreeing and in part disagreeing with that. And in the
yeah,
second question, because
yeah,
please let me first respond
yeah. That
to
that
both
that was that was
questions.
going to
Yeah.
say that you are starting answering the second question in with your last words.
Yeah. Well, I think in an abstract way that we should trust in the real institutions. But at the same time, if you ask me about our current government, I don't trust them at all.
None
I'm
of us.
really worried about that, you know, that we made a mistake when we needed to vote and we don't, or when or for some other people that voted wrong. Well, I'm not going into that discussion, but
Yeah.
I think that in an abstract way, we need to trust in the proper institutions, in a proper system, in a proper culture, but I don't think that we have the best people to do that. I think should have the best people to do that, that really represents our values, our interests, our goals, and the welfare of the whole society, not just a group of them. So yeah, I think it's kind of delicate because I think in an abstract way, in a theoretical way, better to really understand that there are some decisions that needed to be taken by the people that is leading us. I mean, not only talking about governments, also
Authorities.
in a job, in your family. There are some things that could be decided by the whole community, and there are some other that no, maybe you need some specialized people that decide some stuff. For instance, with this whole school-wide situation, or similar situations it could be, and not only the Señora Juanita that our former president Ricardo Lagos used to quote
Yeah.
every time that he can. So, so yeah, I think there are. It all depends in terms of the context, but I'm really worried because we're leading the last few decades or the last few centuries. I'm not sure. It could be more philosophical than that. That we're not having the people that we need and we must and we deserve to be leading our society.
Have we
I'm
ever?
not only talking about Western,
And have
because
we ever
because
chosen the right authorities?
yeah,
Is
I think
has
some time from another we do.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Sometimes we
are
make
you saying that you are against democracy, Alicia?
no, no, no. I'm totally in favor. Of course, I am a very Jorge down there. Yeah, he knows that I am a very And Melissa is laughing. Yeah, she's laughing in silence. Laugh in silence. Laughed in Spanish. So no, but yeah, my friend knows me, and I am very traditional, and I strongly believe in the state, in democracy, in organization, in a society with empowered, conscious society. I am very socialist in that sense. So I mean, have we ever been represented, fully represented by someone? I think that's the thing. We cannot. I have never grown in or never seen a president in my life who is trusted by the people. Sometimes we agree with them, but we don't trust. And I think that this is something common. Have we ever trusted or
Yeah, I
chosen
think
those
if
who
we're talking
actually will
about our
differ?
Chilean society, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I
But
am.
if
We're
we're
making it
talking it
neutral.
in a theoretical
Human.
way, I
Yeah,
think yeah, we must
yeah.
trust in the people
We
that is
must
leading.
start doing it.
In my personal opinion, I'm I'm against about only the freedom of the market or the economy. I'm more pro the enforcement of the state, but at the same time reinforcing the communities. So I think it's kind of tricky because we're not having the last few decades in our country any 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 good leader to us to our society. But at the same time, I think this is our reality as Chileans, but I think, for instance, well, I, I unexpectedly I went to Taiwan last year, and I was really surprised because they really loved their prime minister, and she was a tremendous leader, and she's
Wow.
doing a lot of great stuff. So
Wow. It's like
yeah,
New Zealand.
I'm yeah, too. New Zealand is having an amazing prime minister too. So I think we cannot generalize everyone just because we didn't have enough experience to say that it's impossible. So yeah, I
No,
think
I
it's
don't think.
very tricky
I don't think
and
it's
it's very
impossible.
complex.
I don't think it's impossible. I think it's
So I'm watching you. Huh?
unlikely. Ah,
You're
yeah, you're.
getting even more complex.
Yeah, I'm getting even more convinced. That's the idea. So, Javier, what are your thoughts on the matter? This is the we were saying. This is a very thin line in between what is correct or when it's time to hide information from population and when it's not correct or wrong or harmful to hide information from population. What do you think? Can we rely on our authorities and trust their criteria, their judgment? or do you think that they could use it on their own benefit?
Well, I don't know. Well, it's complex. It's complex because
I'm
depending on
sorry.
your well, um, in my opinion, I think the government should show what is the reality, what is the truth, in the ban of what is the consequence, because the people need to set need to know what is the reality in relation with the cutting set, for example, in relation to COVID-19 on and or in another topics. Um, I don't know what kind of thing is possible hide or but in my case I tried practice for example show what is the reality in my case as a father, for example,
Yeah,
if I
yes,
have a problem
it's a
I
similar
need
situation.
to my kid, to my wife, well, this happened with me, I need to set this is my feeling, this is my reality, I need to share with you what is my feelings, my emotions.
Yes,
And if you can scale or if you can think as a government, maybe it's the same situation because you need to trust for have a good relationship between people. I think it's the same.
it's yeah. So we need trust, and
Yeah.
the problem here is that we do not trust. So that's the question, basically. Do we trust our authorities enough to give them
Yeah.
the power to
Yeah.
manipulate information when we need it, when we need it? Because that's the thing, not when they need it, is when
Yeah.
we need to be uh, uh, manipulated, let's say. So should we
But
trust them? Do you think that we should trust them?
yeah, but the problem is we can't practice the different values in general in the society because maybe all time the people we maybe in different situation the people are right have a bad behavior in general and we need to recover the values in general in society.
Yeah, it's a complex matter. We need an educated population that has a criteria. We need authorities with criteria. Yes, Hernan, go ahead.
I wanted to ask Javier, what do you think about the first question that Alicia asked me? Do you think that could be better if the governments tell the people all the truth in every situation, or that is better to understand that people cannot know everything because the reaction could be worse than knowing everything? And I think that's an interesting question to discuss with everyone, not only with
Yeah,
Javier. But
yeah. That was initially the question I wanted to ask. Like, do you think it's okay that sometimes we don't need to know things, or that we should be we are because we are asking constantly asking for truth. We're asking and demanding authorities to be honest, to tell the truth. To every program has someone that overviews that program. We are overviewing our government, watching them, but they are watching us at the same time. So it's this thin line where we have to give them the power to choose when to hide something if it's necessary and when not to do it, and trust their criteria that they will only do it when it's for the the benefit of everyone, and not in situations where it's convenient for them to hide, like COVID. What do you
Yeah,
think, Javier?
we
Do you
need to
think
be honest. We
honest,
need to be honest. Yeah,
full
for
honesty?
me, honest,
Good.
independent of the situation.
Yeah,
For
good.
example, if we have Chilean people, we, for example, I don't know, but well, Chile have a several natural disaster in general. We have a lot of realities, a lot of weather,
Yeah.
and the how do you say climate change or climate change,
Climate change. Yeah.
climate change effects.
Global
to
warming, you
Chile.
could say.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we need to work together for resolve different situation, but the government need to set what is the truth.
Yeah.
If they detect, for example, a tsunami, they need to say to the people, "Oi, we need to, we will have happen the tsunami, and you need to run."
Yeah. You could die. And then, yes, go ahead.
I need to ask because it's interesting to discuss. Javier, would you tell your children, your little children, the whole truth if you're having an earthquake and they could die, but you can avoid it doing some stuff? Would you tell them because you need to tell them all the truth that it's a
I will.
risky earthquake and they could die, or do you just prefer to uh,
Tell
prepare
them that
them
it's
to
gonna
be
be okay.
safe and save them?
Maybe in this situation I can't speak because, but if I can speak, I try set the truth, and maybe we can share different emotion in this moment, and said, well, in another life we can share more time, and well, I need to
That
tell
was
the truth.
sad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think your comparison it's okay, but at the same time it's different because you have a lot of emotions involved. So
Yeah,
the present,
if
yes,
you're and if you are allowed to die, obviously you can talk
yeah,
with them. I'm
yeah. No,
talking
no. I'm saying,
if you're having
yeah,
1% risk of dying and a
yeah,
99% of saving them,
yeah.
should you need to tell them?
I think I understand the idea, but at the same time, with authorities, I think that one of the problems here is that they don't feel for people. They don't really care about most of us. So it's different when you're telling someone the truth because you care about that person and you need that person to know the truth because it's the fair thing to do. Whether even if it's just 1% chance of dying, like you have a cancer or like yeah. So yes, Kathy, right away. But at the same time, it's different when you don't feel for them, when you don't care for them. So Kathy, what do you think?
I think that can be no have to be in this time. For example, in this year, you can saw in your cell phone. For example, if you don't trust in the government, you search information. It's the same
Yeah,
in the episode. For example, when the government say in the channels, the news,
that
that
nothing was
they
happening.
exactly that they don't show the news about the Princess Susana, but finally in the YouTube on Twitter show the reality.
Other governments decided to show it.
Exactly. Obviously, the government can be choose one information show to the people, but for iniciativa, no sé cómo se dice,
Initiative.
initiative, our initiative is search more information. I think that all about they don't trust. No, we don't trust in the government or in 5% good about information.
Yeah, most people.
Answers exactly answers in another point.
Yeah,
Fuentes.
another source. Yes, I would like to comment on that, but first I would like to hear Jorge. He's been very quiet. Oh, and I know you really want to talk about this. So tell us, what do you think? Do you think they are allowed to choose when to inform us and not to? All things we've been discussing.
Well, to be honest, I was thinking in if John Gallo was virtually seeing this conversation, he will be really satisfied because we have talking about 1 hour and we never discussed the fact of the guy have sex with a pig.
You are very right. You are very right. What
So,
do you think of sex with animals? To
so
get to the point.
but you it was a very interesting discussion about the power of the government and that kind of stuff. And I am happy to agree with Michael Gallo. Michael Gallo.
No,
What? No,
it's not
Javier.
Michael, it's Javier. Michael Calo.
How
So
I
you,
how
Javier,
did you Javier? How did you change your Zoom name? I have this name because of my
there are 3
Facebook.
points in the top, and you can choose rename, and you can change the
Oh
name.
my
Thank you.
God. Oh my God.
I will do to the next session. So I have to agree with you because we can see that, like Alicia says, there's no government with a trust and to have their people trusting 100% in the government. It's very difficult, really. I saw tabla, gráfico, no sé.
A chart.
Yeah, a chart of president's approval in South America, the Caribbean, and the most approval percentile of one president was around 60%, and maybe
60 or 16?
no 60.
Yeah, good.
60 in Puerto Rico or one country from the Caribbean. I don't remember, sorry. And that's a perfect example of a good government. We can think a 60%, I think, is good.
Of
It's
course.
fine. Here in Chile, we have Piñera with less than 10%.
But Bachelet was almost 90. 86 or something like that in her
Really?
first government. Yes, she did a great government, of course.
Well, so coming back to
yeah, right now.
the topic, I think that always the truth brings benefits to everyone. Maybe at the beginning can be shocking to the population, to the people, but in the long time you can see how the manipulation of the statistics and numbers always brings confianza, confidence, y de confianza sería
lost in confidence. Lost in confidence.
Okay, and we can see.
Can I ask, sorry, confidence no es como confianza de actitud.
Yeah.
De uno para uno, ¿no?
Yeah. Like loss in trustworthiness. No, trust. A decrease in. Sorry, there are dogs barking, and Jorge and me are hearing dogs. Just one second.
Sorry,
I cannot
sorry.
hear anyone.
The neighbor dog.
So yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right, Hernan, you're right. I immediately lost all my English. You're right, Hernan. Confidence is confidence in ourselves, like when you believe in yourself, and trust would be trust. So we start mistrusting our authorities, like, or no, like we stop trusting them along the
Well, you were talking, Katy speaks about the case of Chile, COVID-19, impossible to not talk about that. And I remember in April when we all see the TV, the news, staying home, hashtag, we all care about us. And it starts other way of contra information because of the social media, cell phones, Facebook, and Black Mirror, to share spam information about the statistics, the numbers. So mileage starts doing their job to keep the numbers and the ways the government will try to solve the coronavirus problem. And across the year, we can see how the people start to untrust these numbers. So if since the beginning they start to say, well, we have that problem, that this is that we know, that this is what we don't know, and start to showing real information to the people. Maybe at the beginning we start to don't trust the government, but at the same time we say, well, we have the truth, so we start to thinking about new solutions.
Yeah, I agree. But at the end, yeah, Katy, of course. I mean, Princess Susana.
Mhm.
Hmm?
Sorry. I trust a little in the government or in the people, and it's about the sentence that you can put in your hand in the fire for the people, for anyone.
Sorry, could you say that again? I don't think I got.
Okay, it's about this about the say Javier, no, Jorge, que you can trust in the government or in another people a little, and it's like the sentence or the dito,
Yeah,
you can't or you never put your hand in the fire for
yeah,
anyone.
yeah. That's what I wanted to say actually. That we live in a society where we don't trust anyone or anything, because everything that we see, which is mainly the here, is manipulated, and we start being we're aware of that. We are being told that we're being manipulated, so we start what's desconfiando? I don't remember that word. We start being suspicious about everything that's going on around us. So yeah, this is, I think it is the thing here. Can we trust authorities? And one last thing that I want to discuss. Has to be very short, but it's something that we need to discuss. And this was actually Jorge's idea. The terrorist here probably is nothing uh, personal with the prime minister. He is punishing authorities. He's punishing the establishment. He's punishing prime ministers, not necessarily Michael Kahlo. We are never told that he's been an abuser or anything bad, or not like nothing bad about him. So do you think that, and sometimes we can say the same about, I don't know, Piñera, let's say, or any president, that when they come to the government we start blaming them and they say, hey, what about the other and the other and the other, it's not me, it's the system, blah blah blah. The same thing here. The terrorist was the one punished was Michael Kahlo, but do you think it's fair to attack the institution more than just individuals? Because we're constantly talking about destroying the system and changing the system. So that means attacking the institution, the system. But do you think that that is the correct way, the right way, or that we should go for each individual that we think is doing badly and change pieces, not the whole thing? Everybody's laughing here. I'm talking about serious things. So yeah, Hernan, you go. Answer
Look
my
the
question,
chat.
please.
But
Everybody's
but it's your
laughing.
fault. It's your fault because you
Why?
fed this whole situation. Because I was just laughing about that Kathy changed her name. And then I don't know when, I don't know how,
At
because you were
some
talking with
stage,
your hands.
yes,
But
I'll
you
do it. I'm
changed
a
your name
magician.
too.
I'm a
You're
magician.
a
Siri,
magician, yeah.
Siri did it for me. Siri did it for me. I told her, Siri, change
Alicia
my name.
Copperfield.
Yeah, so yeah, fake
And
news.
then
This is
Javier
not me. This is a
changed
fake
his
face
name.
to sad little piggy. So yeah, we want to also want to. I think we lost the question, guys. But let's
No, no, no,
ask this.
but
Yeah,
I want another topic. I think
yeah.
it's interesting.
We're almost
I
in
think
time,
what
so we gotta be quick.
no, don't worry then.
No, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I think what Kathy and Jorge said before uh, goes goes backwards to the same discussion, but with a different argument. I think when Jorge was talking about how people was supporting the hashtag "be at home," "be safe," and etc. All those stuff. I thought, well, that's why you cannot trust in people, in societies, in the bigger groups. In the persons, you can.
Yeah.
The adults think, but I think in a way societies are like kids that are or naive or even naive or no or sometimes even stupid or impulsive or because when they were saying that you need to be safe at home in April, in May, we were having the same statistics and the prevalences that we're having right now. And if you look at the polls that are being published right now, more than the 60 or even the 70% of the people prefer to go out to to
Yeah, it's a
enjoy and to
personal
eat,
decision
to
now.
party, to
It's a
don't care
personal
about the
decision
face
now.
mask. So
Yeah.
it's a them same situation, and people were so aware about, oh no,
And a lot
when
of
we were
people
having
say that
like
it's not
10 new
real.
cases a day, they were saying you don't need to be outside, you don't need to care about that. And we're having right now 1,500 cases a day, and we're going up and up, we're raising the numbers. So
Yeah. And
it's
there are
really
some
worrying,
people there.
That's why you cannot
Yeah.
always trust in people. Sometimes you need to tell them the truth, and sometimes you need to take a different decision from what they are saying. You know, I
But
think it's really
I
delicate.
think it's a problem of trustness. Like, and right away, Kathy. We there are some people who don't even trust and the World Health Organization when they're announcing this pandemic, and they're even saying that this is fake. So we don't trust in anyone, not even in your neighbor. And this virus made it even worse. Like, you cannot trust people because they may be infected and you don't even know, and they don't even know it, so you cannot trust them. So trust stays and remains as a problem. Kathy, so we can close this up. Go ahead.
Sí, very short. Um, Another things, it's about the quarantine.
Yeah.
I don't justify justify the
Justify,
people
justify. Yeah.
justify, but you can see the people in the house for 5 months, and obviously right now, but they want to go out, obviously.
Yeah.
For example, I go out to the beach, or now I go out for running, but I know that the case today in COVID, it's the same that the April,
I think we don't
but
care anymore.
it's a
We
thing
don't care that.
psychological. Yes.
Yeah, we're not that afraid anymore. I think because I was very strict with my quarantine, and now I go out too. I'm careful, of course. I have my precautions. I wash my hands. I never trustable. Thank you. Um, I have never been, I think, fully responsible with this matter, but I'm not that afraid anymore. We got used to this, and we are less sensitive. The first times we saw 1,000 people dying, we were shocked. Now we don't care. It's just someone else that died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the last thing, I listened to one person, I don't remember who, but he say that the people can como acostumbrarse,
Get
como
used to.
digo, they used to see people die, or the 100 cases, or it's normal today. It's not, obviously, but
Yeah.
the people can se acostumbró.
Yeah, got used to. We got used to. We got used to the illness. So yeah, Hernan, I saw you change your name. I wanted to discuss that too, but I knew this episode had way too many things to discuss. The wife was unfair, and not only, I think that is one of the most shocking things in the episode is the ending when they show you that they are over. But everybody, and now he has the love of people and the support and approval, but he lost he had to sacrifice himself, his mental well being, fact to pig, and his wife, his family. So, yeah, there are thousands of things. Jorge, you wanted to talk before we finish? No? No? Okay. Any last comment before we finish? There are many things I wanted to I wanted to comment about,
What
but
an
yeah,
amazing dog. I
that's
just need
Apollo.
to say.
That's Apollo. Is the best
I
dog in the
love
world.
Apollo.
Is the best dog in the world. He's a dog cat. We don't know. We're not sure if he's a cat or a dog. He's right in the middle, and he's great. So yeah, that's a beautiful cat. So yeah, guys, I'm very glad to have you back here in our meetings. I think this was great, and next time we're going to discuss episode 2 of season 1. And thank you, Javier, for coming. Melissa, that you are in darkness there. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Uh,
Ahí
uh,
está. Ahí
there
está la
she is.
Meli.
You have a face. Good to hear you. Good to see you. Yeah, thank you guys for coming here. It's been a pleasure having you here, discussing with you, Javier. Hope next time you can join us a little bit more, Melissa. And the usual ones, Katy, Jorge, and Hernan. Always a pleasure. We missed other 3 people that should join us next week, or maybe 4. There are more people likely to come here because it's more trendy to watch Black Mirror than to read books. So see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Same channel, same people, and discussing episode 2 of season 1 of Black Mirror. Thank you guys for your
Okay.
time. Thank you for joining us. Hugs and kisses for
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a great night. See you. See you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.